What's good, everybody? It's your brother, Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, the Democratic Party is just doing the same old that they do every election year, where instead of actually offering black people an actual, package or something, some sort of tangible package or some sort of referendum or whatever, they have basically decided that they're going to browbeat and to harass the black community, more specifically, black men. Okay, so instead of saying, hey, this is what we are offering to you specifically for your vote, what they're doing is they're sending out their little agents out here to attack black men. Now, the first of them was Magic Johnson. They got him out there and, they shot him up with all his meds so he could stand up there. And even though Magic Johnson at this old age can still barely read, he managed to read the teleprompter enough to wag his finger at black men and say that we have to specifically vote for Kamala Harris. Black men need to get it together and vote for Kamala Harris so she can be the next president of the United States. Now, it was so ridiculous where he said that in that speech. I can tell that this was something that was written by someone else, some Democratic shill, and just given to him. And it was extremely disrespectful. Whoever that shill was or whoever that campaign manager was that wrote that for Magic Johnson, I hope that you burn in hell, okay? I hope that you get run over by a freight train because what you did was extremely disrespectful, right? The fact that instead of actually offering black people anything, like you look at the numbers and you see that there are a lot of black men who are not supporting Kamala Harris. And instead of making the appeal to us with some sort of, something tangible, whether it be something that has to do with reparations, some real reparations money, or some sort of law to get these damn demonic cops off our back. You don't do that. Oh no, you don't do that at all. You decide to attack us and make it seem like we're stupid and like we don't know what we're doing when we don't want to support Kamala Harris, right? Because we won't blindly bend the knee and just follow whatever you say. There's something wrong with us overall, and we have to be talked down to like we're children. And we certainly don't need to be talked down to by Magic Johnson. Like I said, if you watch his little speech, he can barely read. He's almost in Herschel Walker territory, right? Magic Johnson's never really been the smartest person. He's been good at having smart people around him, but I remember even like back in the day when he was still playing in the NBA, like a lot of comedians used to make fun of the way he talked because, he seemed kind of slow, right? So even now, he still comes off that way. And, like I said, he barely got through that speech. I'm sure they probably had to write it in crayon for him. And, when you have someone who will basically wag their finger at you and try to tell you what it means to be a black man, and then you look at their life and you're like, dude, you're not an example for anything like that. Yeah, you were great at basketball. Yeah, I loved watching Magic Johnson play basketball, but that doesn't translate into you giving me advice for voting. Okay, I have my own life that I have to maintain. I have my own family that I need to maintain. And maintaining my family does not involve me raising a boy to turn into a girl and have my son out here switching and twerking and whatnot and getting bent over counters and whatnot by other men. That's not what my idea of raising a black man is like. Okay, Magic Johnson and I live in completely different worlds. So, I'm not trying to raise a new version of Medea. That's basically what he has raised. So, and even beyond that, even before that, I'm a black man who has been married since my early 20s, and at no point was I out here trying to stick and move in every female either. Okay, and to the point where I literally caught a life-threatening disease from doing so. So, in my opinion, Magic Johnson is not someone that you really should be looking up to or just listening to when it comes to making the right decisions when it comes to voting for your best interest. Now, if it's not Magic Johnson wagging his finger at us, it's Barack Obama, because now Barack Obama has recently, he was doing a speech for Kamala Harris, and now he's yelling at black men and basically saying that we need to get it together and vote for Kamala Harris. Now, Obama tried this way back when Hillary was running after his presidency, his 8 years. He had Hillary running after him, and he did the same thing to black men back then. I remember it. I remember it very well. And Negro, you basically helped cause Hillary to lose that election by doing that. So obviously the Democrats have not learned their lesson that you actually need to offer black people something. You can't scare us because we go through so much terrible things already, and you can't browbeat us and say, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to be upset. We don't care. Okay, we don't care if Obama is going to be upset because we don't vote the way he wants us to vote. Okay, because most of us can't stand Obama anyway. Obama is, for most black people feel that Obama was like the greatest example of betrayal. A lot of people came out and supported Obama and put him in the White House not once but twice, and he gave us absolutely nothing. Okay, he did everything to help everybody else, from the LGBT community to the Latino community to the police department. You know what I'm saying? Like, Obama went and made laws and did things to help the police, and then he comes back and expects us to want to help him. After, during his presidency, black people caught hell from the police, right? But we're supposed to just bend down, bend the knee, and automatically support who he says to support. No, thank you, sir. Okay? For one thing, you're not the best judge of character anyway, Obama. I remember when you were out there supporting Andrew Gillum, and Andrew Gillum got caught literally with his pants down around his ankles in a hotel room with a gay escort and drugged out and throwing up on the floor and whatnot. That's how Andrew Gillum got caught, and that's someone else you endorsed, Negro. So why should I trust you as someone to be a good judge of character as to who I should be voting for? All right? So, that's really all I wanted to say. I'm sick and tired of these Democratic shills thinking that they can somehow shame black people into doing what they want us to do. It's funny because, you would think at this point they would get the idea that this is not working. When you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, then you must be actually insane, right? So you would think they would be smart enough to figure out, well, maybe we should offer black people something. But see, it's not that they're dumb, and it's not that they don't know this, but in their nefarious, evil minds, they don't think they deserve to give us anything. They don't think that we deserve to have anything. They don't think that we are even deserving of having any type of respect. They look down upon black people. That's why they talk to us the way they do. They don't talk to any other social group that way. They don't talk to Jews that way. They don't talk to Latinos that way. They don't talk to other foreigners like the Ukrainians that way, right? They don't talk to Indians that way. We all know for a 100% fact that Kamala Harris is also half Indian. Why are you not making this same appeal to the Indian male community, right? Why are you not browbeating Indian men? They're not voting for Kamala either. They have low numbers too. Why are you not browbeating them? See, when you do this specific attack on black people, you can't make it seem like when we ask for something, you can't say, well, your numbers are so low that you're irrelevant and you have to work with these other groups. But then you're specifically making an appeal to us that we have to do something. So obviously our numbers are not that low. Obviously, we're not insignificant if that's the case, right? So they're basically contradicting themselves when they do stuff like that. So, we're not here to be your whipping boy. We're not here to be harassed by you. That's not our purpose in life. All right. With black people and black men especially catch enough hell as is without having the literal the people who are in charge of government right now actually attacking us. All right. We don't need that on top of all the other BS that we deal with. All right. So it's amazing to me because basically you have two political parties that love to demonize black men in their own special way. You have the Republican side that like to demonize black men and make us all seem like we're criminals and evil and that we just commit crimes, we just make babies and don't take care of them, so we should be demonized in that way. Then you have the Democrats that if we don't go along to get along and don't just automatically support them like they think we should, then they demonize us as well. And the fact that, once again, I said this before in my other video about these Democratic shills supporting Kamala, that, if the Democrats are making this wedge, this social wedge and this gender wedge between black men and black women, then that defines them as our open enemy. All right? If you're trying to divide a male and a female group within a social group, that means that they are your enemy. All right? If you're trying to create gender war between black men and black women, you are the enemy. No doubt about it in my mind. Okay? And black people need to look at this and keep this in mind when they do go to the polls, if they even decide to do so. All right? So you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I very much love to hear your opinions on this. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on the devil's back.